December 2nd, 1993. Medellin, Colombia. The sun rises over the neighborhood of Los Olivos. Inside a modest two-story house, the world's most wanted man is about to make the mistake that will end his reign.
Drug king, who was for years one of the world's most wanted men, was gunned down today by Colombian police in the Colombian city of Medellin.
For months, Pablo Escobar has lived like a ghost, hiding, silent, moving from one safe house to another. But that morning, he picks up the phone. He calls his son. A short conversation, just a few minutes long, but longer than his safety rule allowed. Across the city, antennas and receivers begin to trace the signal. The downfall of the king of cocaine has begun. 1 year earlier, Escobar had lived like a king inside the prison he built for himself, La Catedral. It wasn't a prison at all. It had a football field, a disco, even a jacuzzi. But that fortress soon became his trap. In July 1992, after ordering the murder of 2 of his own men inside, the Colombian government decided to transfer him to a regular facility. Escobar refused. Under heavy fog, he escaped, right under the army's nose. That day marked the beginning of the most expensive manhunt in Colombia's history. The search block, an elite police unit, was reinforced with U.S. technology and intelligence support. Agents from the DEA and analysts from the CIA provided radio tracking equipment capable of triangulating phone calls in real time, cutting-edge technology in Colombia at that time. For 16 months, Escobar moved constantly, sleeping in basements and attics, never staying more than a night or two. From a man who once ruled an empire worth billions, he became a fugitive, carrying a single bag and a phone. His wife and children, hiding in Bogotá, lived under constant surveillance. That morning, newspapers reported that Germany might offer asylum to his family. According to investigators, Escobar read the article and, against all his own security rules, decided to call them. The number connected to the hotel where his family was hiding. The conversation lasted several minutes, enough time for the tracking equipment to lock onto his position. He spoke to his son, Juan Pablo. He asked how they were, promised they would be together soon. In the background, his daughter Manuela's laughter filled the line, the sound of a family he hadn't heard in months. For a moment, he wasn't the drug lord. He was just a father. But that call sealed his fate. Shortly after noon, the search block received the exact coordinates. The signal came from a small house in Los Olivos. Officers surrounded the area quietly. Inside, Escobar and his driver, Álvaro de Jesus Agudelo, known as El Limón, realized they'd been found. Witnesses later recalled Escobar saying, "Nos jodimos. We're screwed." At around 2:15 p.m., gunfire broke out. For several minutes, the narrow street turned into a war zone. El Limón was hit and killed almost immediately. Escobar tried to flee across the rooftops, but bullets followed him. He was struck several times and collapsed on the tiles. When search block officers reached him, Pablo Escobar was still alive but badly wounded. Moments later, another burst of shots, and he stopped moving. The official report states that Escobar was killed by police fire. His family, however, insists he took his own life, shooting himself in the right ear to avoid capture. The autopsy photos have never provided a clear answer. What is certain is that at 3:15 p.m. on December 2nd, 1993, Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria, 44 years old, was dead. The next day, thousands of people poured into the Jardins de Montesacro cemetery in Itagüí. Local newspapers estimated more than 20,000 mourners throughout the day. Some cried, others cheered, others simply wanted to see him one last time. Escobar was buried next to El Limón, the last man who stood beside him. His death ended the Medellin Cartel, but not the cocaine trade. Other cartels, Cali and later Mexico, filled the vacuum he left behind. 30 years later, his name still divides Colombia. To some, a benefactor. To others, a murderer. In the end, his empire didn't collapse under force. It ended with a moment of weakness, a phone call that lasted only a few minutes, and an empire disappeared.